Okay, here we are with project number 3. So as I said in the introduction video, I knew I wanted to do a slimline card. This is all the rage right now. If you go on Pinterest or YouTube, everyone's doing these slimline cards. So essentially, they fit inside a business size envelope. So you could just buy a pack of those, but of course we're gonna make some. Now the paper that we have to make the envelope, we actually used to sell by Stampin' Up. We used to actually sell envelope paper. So it's sort of a thinner paper because sometimes making envelopes out of your cardstock is a little bit too thick. So anyway, we're going to be doing that, but we'll save that to the end. So yeah, here is the slimline card. I actually really like it. I think it'll look really nice displayed and just kind of fancy looking. So, okay, so I want to talk about a couple of things. Okay, so this piece here will already be embossed for you, which I just wanted to point out. So they've come up with a smaller size of embossing folders, and so they come as a set, and it's called Wrapped in Texture, and you get 2 of them for 11 bucks. So that's actually pretty good. So yeah, so we're using the one with that. So that's already done for you. This paper, this DSP is in the holiday catalog. It's called Wonder of Seasons Specialty Designer Series paper. Really kind of nice. It's on the one side, you've got your gold, and then you also have your red metallic, and then it's red. Oh, more red. I thought there was, oh, is it just red and gold? For some reason, I thought it was copper too, but so I guess it's just red and gold. And on the back side is some black writing. So really kind of neat. I really like it. I love this kind of cursive writing in the background. I could have used that too, but anyway, I was highlighting the gold for this card. So I just want to point that out. That's in the holiday catalog. Okay. There's actually a stamp set too that sort of coordinates with this paper, because as I'm seeing this sleigh ride, there's a sleigh set. I actually just ordered it today. I'm kind of excited to get it. Anyway, just as I saw that. So that's the DSP that we're using. This ribbon, it is a retired ribbon. You guys know I have so much ribbon because I tend to hoard it. But I do use retired ribbon all the time. But this stuff is kind of cool. It's actually quite thick, so you could actually do some fancy things with it. But this we're actually just going to be folding and wrapping around, and then there's a second piece in your bundle. The longer piece is for, I gave you lots, so you'll be able to do your bow. Lots and lots. So there's plenty there, so you'll be able to finagle your bow when you're making that. So, okay. So of course we're not doing the ribbon yet. I think that's all I needed to really explain. So let's put this aside. I'm gonna put the envelope over here. Okay, and yeah, we'll put this, it's kind of a big card. So let me see, is that still in the picture? Oh, it is, okay, good. Okay, so I just want it out of my way so I don't drop a stamp on it. What inks am I using? I'm using Shaded Spruce, so it's a nice rich dark green. And I'm using Cherry Cobbler. And actually, as I'm saying this, I was remembering that I wanted to re-ink my Shaded Spruce. So, I guess, well, where is my Shaded Spruce? Light of Navy, Garden. Ah, here it is. Okay, sorry. I wanted to re-ink my Shaded Spruce because it's, I noticed it being a little bit light. So then I thought I would do it, so I don't know how, I'm sure you know how to re-ink your inkers, but I just thought I would show you how I do it. So I just sort of add some ink this way, trying to get all the areas. And then I go this way. And just gently, I mean, you don't want to douse it with the ink, right? Then I stop squeezing, and then I just kind of rub it in. This way it's not just sitting on the top. I kind of want it to go all the way into the foam pad, right? There we go. So that should be nice and juicy for me. So this is why I always say, have your re-inkers when you order your stamp pads, because you just never know when it doesn't get a nice coverage, right? Like sometimes you think, actually sometimes when I don't use an ink pad for a while, sometimes the ink kind of evaporates a little bit. So it is always good to have this. So anyway, that is that. Okay, so you're going to get your package out. Okay, so obviously the big red piece is for the envelope, which we will deal with later. There's our ribbon, which we'll deal with later. We've got all these pieces. So first thing we'll do is we'll fold our card base. Okay, put that like that. Okay, so I did do a little something ahead of time, and I'm going to show you. So in behind here, you've got this big piece of gold foil paper. And why waste it when it's going to be covered, right? Because this stuff, I mean, it's not too expensive. It's 2 sheets for about $7, like $6.95 or something. So it's not horribly priced, but it just seems like such a waste when that's going to be covered anyway. So what I did was I cut out 2. I'm only going to be using 1 for this card, but I know I'll be making another card at some point. So I cut out a second one. So you could, you know, cut something else out or whatever, punch something out, but it just seems like such a waste to keep it whole. So I have another piece for another project for another day. So I can put that aside. So that, I wanted to explain that to you. So let's, you know what? We can just right away adhere this. So then it's done. Let's just put this. And it is a heavier paper. When you are running, cutting your stuff out of this, I definitely would run it through a couple of times because it's thicker, right? So you want to make sure that it's cutting everything properly. So we're just going to center that. Good. And it's gold, and it really, you know, this metallic paper, as pretty as it is, it picks up everything. So if you've got smudges on your fingers or like something sticky on your fingers, it goes right on here. So you do want to kind of be careful and want to have some clean hands. So next, we're just going to adhere this. And see, you can't see that I cut something out. So, right, it's just a nice way of getting more use out of your paper, right? So I mean, even if you weren't going to make another one of these cards, you could, like, I don't know, punch out some other little flowers or something that you know that you're going to use and that you want gold. Here we go. And then you just have it, right? Or you could have done, I could have actually done one with one of the other sayings, like either joy or, what is the other one? Joy or bright. No, hello, we're already doing bright. Or peace, and made a second card exactly like this, just with a different saying. But anyway, I had that one in my hand, so I just did it twice. So, okay, so this is ready. And you do kind of have to do a little extra kind of rubbing to make sure it adheres, because the foil, you know, it's thicker and it doesn't, just needs a little extra time for the 2 pieces to adhere. But there we go. So I can actually set that aside. Okay, what am I gonna do next? We're gonna do our stamping, right? Because I really like to do the stamping, so then it's out of the way. Okay, and I need this for Merry and Bright, and this from Oh My Holly. Okay, one thing I do want to tell you, so I already pre-cut this, so this is like more scrap, right? So I already pre-cut this, and this is going to be on here. I'm just kind of getting all my stuff settled. I should tell you before I do this stamping, this Bright, the fine one, in your package, I feel like I'm all over the place because there's so much stuff I need to tell you. You've got this little piece here. On the back, I have the double-sided adhesive on it already. So what you're going to do, so it's already on there for you. I actually put a little sticky note so you know. And so you're gonna run this through, so it's still actually attached to my die cut. You're gonna run it through and run it through a couple of times, make sure it gets cut. and then you'll be able to just peel that off and stick it on. So this time you won't have to use your Tombow because it already has the adhesive. Okay, so we don't need that yet. We'll just put the, actually, you know what? No, I want to do this. I want to do the stamping because that red always takes a little bit to dry. So let's just do our stamping and we will move on. So our shaded spruce is nice and juicy. So we need 3 for the outside and 1 for the inside. So we've got 1. Ooh, that is rich. 2. You can see how light that is. It really did need to be re-inked. 3. And then the rest of this scrap on here, 4. So you should have plenty of space for your, and actually I wasn't really space conscious when I did that, was I? But anyway, okay, and let's do our berries with the cherry cobbler. Okay, and so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and also we need to do the Mary and. So I'm actually not going to use this because I have some space on here. So we'll do Mary and. Okay, perfect. That's beautiful. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And while I have my red out, for my inside, and you know what, it is white on the inside. You could just stamp right on there, but I'm known to make mistakes. So I did give you a piece. It's white on white, but it goes right in there. The stamp set actually, here again is where you're going to use your own sentiment for the inside. Now this one, I actually thought it was still in the catalog and I took a look and it wasn't. So again, this is a retired one, but this is why I buy Christmas stamp sets and I keep them and I do go back to them. So, but this is the one I'm using and it's huge. So I like the fact that, that it takes up a lot of space in the middle, but it doesn't have to. You could have something smaller. You could use one from this stamp set. You could use the Peace to the World. You could Joy, like, you know, whatever. You could do whatever. But anyway, I'm going to do this, and while I have my red out, I'm going to ink this up. Hopefully not make a mistake. Okay. And I'm gonna just stamp it right in the center-ish. Really kind of let it absorb into that white ink. It's a big stamp set, so, you know, I kind of want it all to go in. But yeah, especially when you're working with red ink, I find it takes a little bit to dry, and so you just want to give it that little bit of time. Oh, see, so inside here is it's not perfect, is it? And that's kind of bothering me. So can I do it on the other side? Let's try again, because I'm not happy with the way the middle was. Oh, and now I have it all over the sides. Knowing me, I will rock it. So let's wipe that. I tell ya, red and me, I don't know why, I often have a hard time with it. Okay, so let's try this. Number 2. Here we go. I'm gonna really rub. It's a big stamp. That's what happens when you have a big stamp. Sometimes it's hard for all of it to transfer over. This is why often with a big stamp like this, sometimes I'll use my Stamparatus. That way I could have just re-inked the stamp and then close the lid again. But I didn't, so okay. So that's a bit better. I don't love it, but it's a bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside, and now let's put these together. So we're just going to put this on here. Okay, so this you are using Tombow. I mean, you could use your adhesive sheets for this also if you didn't want to fuss with your Tombow. But this is a pretty thick space, so I don't really have a hard time with the Tombow on here. Okay, so just kind of on there. There we go. Good. Now, hopefully, this is going to peel right out. No problems. We shall see. So, and there's some more space on here. Like you could do something little decorations or whatever. So I'm going to keep that and still use it. Oh, this is coming right out. Love it. And let's just punch that out so it's good for the next time I do it. Oh. Why? There we go. And got it all. Okay, perfect. So punch that out. And oh, and do you see my dot is in here, so I'm gonna have to get that out. Okay, and push that out. Okay. There we go. So I got all the pieces out. Oh no, and this one. Okay. So very carefully, and as I said, this is already on yours, but now you can peel this off, which is awesome, right? And so now that's sticky. It's already sticky for you. And now you can just position each letter where they go. So, you know, those adhesive sheets are it's a pretty nice thing to have in your craft room. And this word is awesome, how you can just kind of manipulate it and put it where it needs to go. There we go. Perfect. The other great thing is using the adhesive sheets, especially when you're using these metallic papers, is sometimes if you get a little Tombow on the metallic paper, then it gets a little cloudy, right? So it's so this way it avoids that. I feel like I'm gonna have a hard time with this guy. How am I gonna do this? Let's see. How am I gonna peel this off? Oh, okay, it's off. It's very little, and I just gotta, let's see if I just do, perfect. There we go. Okay, so easy. Love it, love it. Love those adhesive sheets. Okay, so that I can get this out of the way. Okay. Okay, and let's build our little, it's sort of like a little present, if you will. So now we can get the smaller piece of ribbon. And all I did was I just sort of folded it in 3. There we go. Okay, and did I do it again? You know, there's no wrong, but flip it over and then just use some single-sided tape to adhere it down. There we go. Okay, and that's just going to go right in the center. Do I have it right in the center? I do. Okay, so let's put some dimensionals on this. Go. I think I'll stick one in the middle. I think that's probably, well, you know, I don't want this to fall, so I'm gonna go to town with my dimensionals. That's too many, I know, but I did it. Okay, so peel those off. There we go. Okay, and let's just kind of eyeball it in the center-ish, up and down, left and right. There we go. Okay, and sure, let's tie our bow. So you can just, and as I said, I gave you a huge piece so you can play with it because it's thick ribbon, but it kind of goes thinner when you just kind of bunch it up together. And then you can actually open it if you want. Like, it's kind of neat ribbon. It actually would look really good. This ribbon would look really good for packaging. Okay, so let's just, I'm gonna make these longer and then probably cut them as I go. So just kind of play with it. It's easy, it's tulle, so it just kind of, it's so easy and bendable and whatever. Because that's gonna go like that. Oh yeah, those tails are getting cut. There we go. So as I said, I gave you a huge piece. So I'm gonna adhere this with several glue dots. And I'm just gonna put it on the edge. There we go. There we go. Okay, so nice little present. Oh, there we go. Okay, this is going to get, I'm gonna put not glue dots, dimensionals on it, but you want to make sure that you're putting your dimensionals below and above the ribbon, right? Because if it goes on the ribbon, it's not gonna really, it's gonna be too high. So below and the ribbon. Now it's pretty sturdy because it's pretty thick. So you don't need as many as I put on the other one. And I actually, how much room do I have here? Okay, I think I should be able to put one there, one down there, and maybe one there. And I think that'll be good. Okay, and there we go. So let's just kind of center that. Awesome. Okay, it's coming together really quickly. So now, yes, you got it. You have to fussy cut. Okay, so, but they're not, these, again, they're not difficult, just like the other cutting in the other card. It's not all that difficult. Just kind of leave a little white border. Again, if I was smart, I would have already pre-cut these, so then you wouldn't have to sit here and watch me, but maybe we're cutting at the same time. We're fussy cutting at the same time, so here we go. I'm really happy I re-inked that ink pad though, because I really like how rich this green looks now. We have and this is, we're using the thick Whisper White cardstock because I just thought it would give it more stability. There we go. And easy. I love those. I wish that they would come up with some more stamp sets that have just that solid little blank. I just find it really useful. I should not just talk, right? I find them really useful. I like the look of them on my cards. So, and you know, maybe you don't want 4 of these on here. You could mix and match. Like you can decide to do it less or more, whatever. There we go. These are actually, I would say, easier to cut out than the those leaves from the other card. So there you go. Good. And you do need to make sure you have very fine scissors. You don't want scissors that have a very long nose to it because, well, at least I wouldn't be able to manipulate it that well. But when you have nice and fine tipped scissors, they're awesome. There we go. And there. Okay. So I really like these slimline cards. I feel like I want to make a bunch more. I don't have jackets though. Like, you know, a lot of my cards that I sell in the stores, I have these little jackets for them, but these I wouldn't have the right size. So I'm not really sure if I could do that, but I do like the look of them. I like how different they are. And they're not even different. I mean, like if you think about it, business size envelopes, they've been around forever. Here we go. All right, I have those done. Now I just have to do these. These are going to be, I'm not going to lie, they're a little annoying, but they're not, look at you, just, I don't go around, I do go around all three. I'm not going to cut individually. That would be crazy. Just, so it is tiny, but there we go. I made that a little bit too wide. Two more. All right, are we cutting at the same time? Are you almost done too? There we go. Right, it's weird when I'm not talking, right? Because then it's just silent. But maybe you're working away too, you're cutting. So maybe, you know, you like the silence. There we go. I actually looked on Amazon for the business size envelopes, and they come in all different colors. So really, if you didn't want to make them, you could just, you know, buy a pack for like 20 bucks or something. It's not that much, so that's definitely an option. Okay, so I am going to add these with my glue dots quite simply. So we're going to do one here and one here. See, once you have it cut, then the rest of this card just comes together super fast. And that, and I'm going to put one here and one here. So really, even though it's a bigger card than a normal size card, it's not really any more work. There we go. And this, oh, there we go. Let's put that there. Whoops. There we go. And one more. Okay. And let's put our Merry and Bright. So I am going to use Tombow because it is going on, it's going on an embossed piece of paper, right? So you do want to make sure it's going to stay there. So we kind of hold it a little bit, make sure all that glue gets in the grooves of the embossed paper. Okay. And here we go. Now this one I would not spritz at all. There's too much gold because not only the gold on the outside, but all this gold and the gold on the paper, and it would just make it look cloudy. So there is your slimline card. The inside, you put this in here, but you know what? I'm not actually happy with the way mine, my impression went. I want to stamp that a little better, but you would put these here, okay? And then adhere it in the center. I'm not going to because I want to save these for, I want to do this again, okay? So I'm just gonna move this over. And yeah, just not happy with that, so that's okay. But there's your card. Awesome, right? Easy, awesome, love it. Okay, so let's put that aside. And now let's work on your envelope. Okay, so you do want to make sure that, now I've already embossed it. I've already scored it for you, which, by the way, all of these cards, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I will be also sending you a list of all the measurements, just in case you want to recreate more of these cards. And then it just allows you to easily be able to reproduce them without trying to figure out what the measurements are. So yeah, so I will include that. I will send that also. Okay, so get your scissors, and I'm going to do this and this. Okay, so we don't need that, so we're going to cut that right off. Okay, and we don't need this one. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing down at this end. Okay. You see how this is coming together? Just going to be doing that. So let's just add a little bit. You don't want to put too much because you don't want it seeping over, but we'll just kind of put that there. Now you could leave your ends like this, okay, but I'm going to actually round the corners. So I'm just going to grab my corner rounder. So this is a current product in the catalog. I think it's called the Trio Corner Punch. So this one gives you sort of a little hole that you could attach a tag to, like attach a ribbon for a tag. This is sort of a little decorative, and then this one rounds your corners. So let's round our corners. So it's kind of a neat little 3-in-1 little tool. There we go. I love when Stampin' Up! Comes up with multi-purposes for things. It justifies my spending. So it looks much better with the little bit of rounded edges. And there's my little scraps. Okay, so this I'm going to adhere. Okay, and we're going to leave the other end opened, obviously, but your card will fit right inside. You don't want to be careful of all the little pieces. There we go. There we go. It's a snug fit, but it's fitting in there. Okay, and then you could just add some glue to seal it up, or you could put some washi tape, some decorative washi tape across, or whatever. So there you go. There is card number 3, the Slimline holiday card. So I hope you enjoyed making that.